All right, good evening, everyone, and thanks for taking your time to join tonight's session, tagged Career Tech Day. But before we dive in deep, just a few house rule. So yeah, if you have any question, please raise your hand, and I'll be calling you to ask your question at the end of the session. Also, I'll introduce myself, tell you a bit about the company. Then I have few slides to share as well. I will share that, and I'll call on each of the facilitators to tell you more about what each of the journey entails. I believe you are on this call because you are considering to transition to one of the courses that we run. All right, so that will be the agenda for tonight, and we'll open the line for questions and answer at the end of the session. So stay tuned, relax, sit back and relax and enjoy the session. All right, so without further ado, my name is Akin Oladeji, and I happen to be the founder of Learn with Pride. Learn with Pride is an IT training organization based in the UK. But the sole purpose of our existence is to, help people that wants to transition from non-IT background or non-technical background into the IT space. So we run different courses ranging from project management to business analysis, Scrum Master, data analysis, database administrator, digital marketing, just to name a few. But why we are different is because we focus on what is important. That is getting the hands-on training, because at the end of any of our trainings, we want the student to be able to be in a position whereby they can start competing with people who has been doing it in the industry for the last 2-3 years. That is what we focus on. So we don't beat around the bush. We go straight to the point. What you need to know for you to secure your very first job. That is what we focus on. The company has been going strong for over 5 years now. And over that 5 years, we've over 10,000 students has enrolled on this course, on this journey as well. We are going to be seeing the stats later on as well. As I said, we are based in the UK. We are registered and based in the UK, but we serve, our students are from every part of the world, from Nigeria, Ghana, UK, Canada. The world is going global. The world is global, so there's no restriction anymore. As long as you have internet, you can connect from any part of the world. So why are people, or why is that rush when it comes to tech now? Why are people considering transitioning to tech? I'll try to, maybe I even throw that out. For anyone on this call, for everyone on this call, I'm sure you are planning to transition to tech. What is your own reason? There's no right or wrong answer. So in 1-2 minutes, if you can drop it on the chat, why are you considering transitioning? Why do you want to transition? What is so big deal about, the buzzword transitioning or tech now? So you on this call tonight, in 1-2 minutes, there's no wrong or right answer. Just put it on the chat and I'll read it out. Why are you considering to transition? Why are you considering to move from your current role to a tech role? So if you can drop your answer on the chat in 1-2 minutes, I'll really appreciate that. As I said, there's no right or wrong answer. So just put why. So you're on this call tonight. Why did you join this call tonight? Or why are you considering to transition? Quickly, anyone. Can anyone hear me though? Can everyone still hear me? All right. So people can still hear me. All right. Yeah, as I said, there's no right or wrong answer. Just send your question in. Sorry, just send, your own response, and we'll talk. If I can get more answers on the chat, I'll really appreciate that. So if you can hear me loud and clear, just drop something on the chat. It doesn't matter what you drop. I just want to just drop something, anything. You know, why you're on this call tonight. You know, that might be your reason. So just drop something. All right. Why I wait for others to join? Peter said because it's the future of work. As I said, there's no wrong or right answer. You are correct. Tobias said freedom to work from anywhere in the world. I am a teacher and I believe in breaking down the physical classroom wall into a digital wall. You are absolutely right, Tobias. Nokia, to enhance the benefits of tech to improve the network globally. Tech is what is in vogue now. That's from planning. All right. As I said, everyone is right. It is the future of work and flexible. That's from Emmanuel. Yes, we all have our different reasons why we are considering to move career, to change roles, you know. But one of the most popular reason is, and some of you have mentioned it as well, there's no barrier anymore. There's no barrier in the sense that, oh, I'm in Africa or I'm in Nigeria. I can only work for Nigerian companies. There's no barrier. There's nothing like that when it comes to tech. Because the role of a business analyst, or the same role that a business analyst in Nigeria, in Ghana, in South Africa, any part of the world that you are, the same role that you perform as a business analyst or any tech role is the same thing all around the world. So there's nothing like, oh, the law, like let's say you read the law in school, the law system in Nigeria will surely be different from the law system in the US, in Canada, and elsewhere, meaning you have to upskill yourself for you to be able to practice. But that is not the case when it comes to tech. A database administrator performs exactly the same thing all around the world. Same thing goes to Scrum Master, same thing goes to any tech role that you can think about. So meaning, if you upskill yourself now, there's no restriction that, oh, there's no job in my country, I don't have work to do, because you've upskilled yourself. You can look beyond your country, to apply for jobs, and you still be getting paid in foreign currency. Another reason is it gives you that family work balance. You don't have to, and most tech roles now, they are either remote jobs or hybrid, meaning you don't have to go to work every day. You can get to see your kids or even take your kids to school every day. You don't have to wake up 5 a.m. just because you want to go and resume work at 9 a.m. You can be able to work from the comfort of your home. Even sometimes maybe you haven't even have your base when you start working, as long as your system is on, and you can get on the internet and you can start working. So it gives you the flexibility, it gives you the family work balance that most people, compared to other professions. Take, for example, a doctor or a nurse. There's no way they can work remotely. They have to physically go in and cater, take care of patient. They have to do their 12-hour shift or 14-hour shift, while standing, or but that is, on the other hand, you can tech people now work smart. You work in a very smart way, in the sense that, why you take your kids to school or you take your car to the mechanic, it's not like you are not working. You are still working, just that maybe your mornings, the morning for that day, it's full of meetings. So that means you can afford to attend join the meetings via your mobile phone while you attend to other things. There are many benefits, but those are one of the key things. And also as well, because of the pay, in tech, there's, 90% possibility that the salary you start with is not going to be the same one that you're going to be on next year. There's a salary review almost every year. Some companies even do twice a year salary review. Those are the advantage that comes with, transitioning to a tech role. Right. So yeah, thanks for all the answer to enhance flexibility and be at par with what. Yes, Moses, you are right at the same time. So yes, that's why, we are trying to put a program together whereby, and again, it's not about certifications. Most people, when they set out for journey like this, they'll be rushing to go and write certifications. You're getting a job, it's not based on the paper is in your hand. No. Companies, recruiters want to employ you or recruit you because you can hit the ground running. You can have the certification and don't even know how to perform the role. And even take, for example, like Scrum, what the books tells you is different from how it is actually done in the real world. So, y- you've buried yourself for weeks studying this material to pass the certification exam, thinking that will be the breakthrough that you need, and you passed it, and you now started applying for Scrum role. Because I see some people, they'll tell me, they are a Scrum master. Having a certificate doesn't, you are not a Scrum master until you get your hands dirty, until you do the job. Having the certificate doesn't, in my own opinion, doesn't make you a Scrum master. But when you get your hands dirty, you can confidently tell me that, yes, I'm a Scrum master. And that is the level we want to get you, for you to be able to hit the ground running wherever you find yourself. So that's what we are known for anyway. So quickly, let me just go through my slide quickly. So about this day, this career tech day, our career tech day is designed to assist those struggling to choose a career path. So if you're on this call tonight and you are still in doubt, you don't really know which one to go for, I'm sure at the end of this session, you'll be able to decide that this is where my strength lies. This is the one I want to go for. So this session offers a comprehensive overview of various tech training options, helping you find the right fit for your skills and interests, gain valuable insight from industry experts, and make informed decision about the future. And this is just a bit about myself as well. I transitioned myself. My background was in accounting. I transitioned to become a software automation engineer. And back then as well, I embarked on a 3 month journey. When I embarked on the journey, despite the fact that I'm coming from a non-technical background, I was able to configure my mind that, what, come rain, come shine, come any difficulties, I'm willing to do everything, for me to be able to go through this journey. Not only go through it, but at the end of the day, secure a job with it. And that is what happened. I think, just to cut the long story short, 2 weeks after I finished my training back then, I was able to secure a senior software automation role as well. And this whole Learn with Pride today started, from that transitioning journey as well. All right, let's move on. So the courses that we offer at Learn with Pride, we have one called the Master Class. A Master Class is a combination of, so if you enroll on a Master Class, you'll be getting 3 trainings for the price of one. You'll be trained on project management, you'll be trained on business analysis, and you'll be trained on Scrum Master. We have digital marketing as well. We have software testing. Software testing as well, you'll be exposed to different testing types that exist: manual testing, automation testing, API testing, performance testing. So you are well equipped when you are done to start applying for any of these roles. For data analysis as well, you'll be exposed to 5 industry standard tools like Power BI, Excel, Tableau, SQL, and Python. These are, industry standard tools that if you know how to use them, you stand a very, very good chance of securing a role, at the end of the session, at the end of the program. as well. We have product management. Our product management is a combination of product management, UI, UX, and Scrum as well. So you'll be getting 3 trainings for the price of 1 as well. And we have database administrator, and also we have a tool training on Excel and PowerPoint. We are going to be exploring this one in details later on. So what are the benefits in enrolling in any of our courses? So you get the practical training, you get to work on a real life project, you get the mentorship, you'll be able to join our community support group. We support you with interview preparation. Also, we have two international recognized certificates that you'll be given at the end of the program, one from the UK and one from the US, and they are both recognized in over 100 countries. Also, you get a remote job from, you'll be able to join a community where we on a daily basis post jobs where you can apply to. And also at the end of the program, we give you a work reference for the duration that you are with us. All right. So if you are to embark on a journey with us, what would be the training roadmap? So you undertake the training, a practical training, which might, depending on the course you enroll for, it ranges from 2 to 3 month practical training. You get to work on a real project for another 2 months. Also, you need to optimize your brand. That is, it's very important to do so, which I'm going to talk about in a bit. All right, so optimization of your brand is really key. If not, recruiters won't be able to see you. So that means if you want to start applying for international roles, you need to revamp your CV to international standards. Also, LinkedIn, you have to be in that space as well, because LinkedIn has become one of the popular platforms that recruiters now go to, to add on to look for professionals like you. So you have to be in that space as well. And finally, you work on your cover letter. You just have to do everything for you to be able to be seen out there. Let your brand speak for you even before they call you for an interview. All right. And finally, we prepare you for interview. Right. So when you secure a job interview, we are there to take you, on the interview preparation, because at the end of the day, when you are able to secure a role, someone will ask you, how did you do it? And you can easily point that, what, I did my training with Learn with Pride. That is what we are, after. Your success is our success at the end of the day. I'm rushing because I need to call on the first speaker now. So the first person I'm going to be calling on now. So for those thinking about product management, you've been hearing the word product management, you want to transition to become a product manager, a UI UX, this is the opportunity to learn more about what it entails and how you can go about it as well. The opportunity that, is out there for you after you upskill as well. So without further ado, Michelle, you can unmute and take it from here. I'm going to be back shortly to continue from where I stopped.
Thank you
Thanks.
very much, everyone. Hello, everybody. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So, hello, everyone. My names are Achakwe Kiroka Michelle, and I am the facilitator for the products management cohort. So, sorry, there's a lot on my screen. I am the facilitator for the product management cohort. A bit about myself, a bit about what I do. I have been in the product management line now for over 4 years, and I have been opportunity to work in different industries. So I worked in the e-commerce industry, I worked in the education industry, I worked in IT services, I worked in software as a service. I am currently within the financial space and bookkeeping space. So I also have a background in digital marketing and cybersecurity. I have been integral to the successful launch of over 5 new products and, of course, the maintenance and iteration of products that already were in existence. I went to University of Benin. I actually read banking and finance, and after reading banking and finance, I believe everybody believes that you should go ahead to be a banker. But I always knew I wasn't going to be a banker. Um, I came out of school, came out of NYSC. I saw the opportunity to enter education technology, and I started my career from there as a client relationship manager. And when the opportunity arose for me to make the switch into tech, I took advantage of it. And I am here today with all these different notches on my belt. Currently, I work with Peer Money LLC. It's a business management fintech tool. I also freelance for smaller projects. I facilitate this. I have been opportunity to work in countries like the US, the UK, while within the Nigerian space. So again, tech is very encompassing. You can be in one place working in different projects in different regions and earning in different currencies while in the comfort of your home. So a bit about product management. Now, when you think product management, you probably think, oh, a product, and what is a product? A product is literally anything. But to simplify it a bit, a product is something that was created to satisfy a particular need. Okay. So if say people need to brush their teeth, the product that was created for that need is the toothbrush. The product that was created for that need is the toothpaste, is the mouthwash. That is product creation. Now, in the tech space, what we do is technically similar to that. We identify issues and then we create solutions around those issues. So, product management, to simplify, is the process of planning, developing, launching, and managing a product or a service. It doesn't even have to be something physical. It can be something software based, which is what a lot of tech things are. It can also be a service, an experience. It can also be a form of a technical product. But basically, the person who is in charge of the whole process from planning, developing, sometimes even creating, launching, and managing the product, that's the product manager. So, to further simplify, a product manager is someone that goes into an industry, recognizes a need from the customer's end, and develops a solution, aka your product, to address this need. But as long as you consistently remember that whatever solution you are addressing has to be within the parameters of the organization that you are working for, their larger objectives, and of course, their financial capabilities and even the capabilities of tech within that period. But basically, we are problem solvers. The product manager who sees the problem and identifies a solution that can be created will then be tasked with mobilizing the resources to transform the concept into practical solutions that clients can then use to help sort the problems that they are facing. This is why when you look at the product management image, you have strategy, you have development, and you have marketing, because we wear all these hats under him. There are other tentacles. There's brainstorming, there's staff management, but these are the main pillars: your strategization, your development, and your marketing. So let's go on. When it comes to this course, again, as you can see, you have user experience, which is UX, you have tech, and you have business. And smack in the middle, you have product management, drawing all these different elements together to create one experience, basically. So in this course, what we will do is I have broken down the different things that we will tackle throughout the course's experience. We have concepts of product management. Here, we are going to explore all the key concepts that are related to product management. So your essential terminologies, your essential documentation, your essential activities, you would learn everything and gain understanding of what it takes to actually efficiently be a product manager and also monitor a product from the point of ideation to the point of launching said product. The next thing we will do, of course, is user interface and user experience, which is UI UX, and its relationship with product management. So in this section, we will delve into the product aspects of UI UX. What really concerns are a bit, but of course, the general know-how of UI UX. These two fields are closely intertwined, and we would explore what the relationship holds in detail. We would also learn key design insights that would help us transition smoothly into the field of design if this is, of course, something that would interest you in the long run. The next thing we would do, of course, is Scrum. Here, you would efficiently learn product management. You will understand the concepts of Scrum and sprint planning. And as a product manager, you would often need to take on multiple roles. So it's important that you learn how to handle this responsibility, because if you are not given the opportunity of hiring a Scrum Master, it is you, the product manager, that will be charged with this responsibility. So you need to understand the basic concepts and how to efficiently take on the hat of a Scrum Master and how to efficiently handle sprint planning. A core part of our training, of course, will be dedicated to familiarizing you with the principles and practices of Scrum and sprint planning. Then the last section, which we'll focus on, is marketing your product. And here, knowing fully well that product management also involves going to market, because you can create a solution, but if nobody is using it, you have just created something that nobody knows about. The success of a solution is when people know about it and are using it. So how do you get people to talk about it? How do you get people to use it? What are those steps that you take as a product manager to ensure that your product is seen by the right audience that you want to see it? We would learn those practices in marketing your product. So assessing user engagement to identify necessary improvements, and then also how you would penetrate the market and enter the industry and start to build your own gathering an audience within the industry. We would look into those concepts. We would also walk through core marketing concepts that guide a product from before the launch period to after the launch period. So what's the career path of product management? If you were to say show interest in product management, it's pretty standard. You can see it starts here from associate product manager, just with 0 years of experience, to the point of chief product officer, which is 12 to how many years of experience. But in between, you have, of course, the associate product manager role. And if you were to start at this level with 0 years of experience to 2 years of experience, in the US, the average pay is between 40,000 to 88, sorry, $88,000 a year. If you, after working for 2 years, you can then begin to apply for roles within product management. So you will be in the opportunity or in the section of a product manager. And this is usually the 3 to 5 years marker. And you earn between $66,000 to $153,000 on average in the United States. If you were to stay in this field and continue to persevere, you would become a senior product manager if you have been product managing for, say, 5, 6, 7 years. So you see yourself either being a senior product manager or a group product manager. And the pay usually ranges from, say, $100 to $130,000 on average per year, or $127,000 to $245,000 per year within these ranges. Then, of course, after you have worked for over 7 years, you are now a director. You are eligible for director of product management roles. And the pay here is usually between 115 to 220. You have the VP of product management role, which is usually between 93,000 to $211,000. Again, this is below 10 years, but above 7 years. And then the highest position, which is over 12 years, you see from 102 to $300,000 on average every year. Now, these are average rates. There are some industries that pay super well, that you might even be at the point of PM and in the pay of a group product manager. It's just about finding your niche, finding the industry that draws to you, and expanding your skill set within that industry. And apart from that, product management is like medicine. There's so many tentacles to it. I would say it's like medicine. Let me not go too far, but it has the opportunity to spawn other careers. So you can choose to specialize. You can say, oh, I want to be fully a product manager that does it all. You can choose to specialize in certain sections within there. And some of the specialty roles that would be open to you are roles like product designers, scrum masters, product owners, UX researcher, UI UX designers, product specialists, technical writers, the product marketing manager, growth product manager, which is what I do currently, or product analysis manager and SEO manager. Again, if you were to come into the course, you'll see how you can, of course, touch all these tentacles, because you would find out that throughout the course, you would learn all these things. So specializing in, say, Scrum Mastery, you would then know what that would entail. And if it's something that works for you, or maybe you want to be a product designer, or maybe you want to be an owner of a product, whatever section works for you, you can then, of course, wear that hat and specialize within that section. So what should you expect from this course? We've broken it into 4 sections, which I have told us about: marketing your product, the base concepts of product management, UI, UX, and product management, and of course, Scrum Mastery and sprint planning. So we have 4 sections, and it's going to be done within 3 months. And then you have 12 sessions in a month. So we meet Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We have a 2-hour class, 1 hour, 30 minutes for basic teaching, 30 minutes for assignments, review, questions, and just general gists to see what we were able to pick within the class. We would also use tools like Figma, Jira, Trello, Google Excel, Google Presentation, the Plot.io, Google Docs. So you will learn how to use these different skills to make yourself an ultimate product manager. At this time, I do not know if there are questions for me before I hand over back to the team. Are there any questions for me? I'm sorry, can everyone see my screen? Okay, cool. So are there any questions for me over any of the things I have talked about, or maybe just general things you might like to know about the field, product management? All right then. I see there are no questions. Okay. How flexible is the class for the people who work in retail companies? So our standard hours, I believe, are 8 to 10, West African time, and I believe for those in the UK. But the classes are recorded, so you can always go back into the LMS and replay a session. And if you have questions, I am in the group chat. You can personally message me and drop your questions, and I can walk you through what you want. Please, a brief recap on the introduction parts. Okay. Product management, basically, just to quickly recap, is finding solutions to industry problems. When you come into an industry, there are problems. So it falls on you, who is now within that industry, to create solutions around those problems, of course, with this being in mind that you would have to look at the resources of your organization, but not just the resources of your organization. You would also have to look at your organization's larger objectives and creating a solution that hits all these parameters and still somehow touches into the direct need of the customers. I hope that's introduction enough for you, Oyebanji Damilare. For costs, I would hand that over to Mr. King. He will be able to give insights into that. How can we get the slide and the recorded version of this program? That would also be given and provided to you by the Learn with Pride team. Okay, I think I am done, Mr. King. Are there any more questions for me before I drop off? All right then. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, sorry. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Mr. King, the floor is yours.
Sorry. Hello, Michelle. Are you done?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I was all right. Any question before we move on? Any question at all? When would the classes be starting? Prestige, I'll go through that shortly. Please just hang in there. For product management is actually starting on Monday. So the 4-month journey for product management is starting on Monday. The training runs 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Dr. Ghana, you can actually raise your hand and I'll unmute you. Are you talking about product management in particular? I need to know. The requirement to join any of this training is, in my opinion, 2 things. Number 1, your laptop / your Wi-Fi. And number 2, your determination. So it doesn't matter what you've been doing for the last 10, 15 years. It doesn't matter what you studied in school, whether you studied agriculture or you've been working as a security or customer service for the last 10 years. It doesn't matter. As long as you are determined and you are ready to go on the journey, we are going to support you. We are going to hold you by the hand and give you all the necessary tools, equip you up to standard for you to start competing out there. So what you need on the journey is, number 1, your laptop / your Wi-Fi, and number 2, your determination. You need to have the mindset of, what, I know the journey is not going to be easy, but I'm ready to give it all. I'm ready to give my all. With that attitude, you can move mountains. So to Dr. Ghana, that is what you need. Emmanuel, I'm going to get to that shortly. Please just hang on so that we can get to all the facilitators. And trust me, you want to wait till the end because yes, I will be talking about that, and there's a discount, discount we are giving out as well. So please just bear with me, Emmanuel. Any other question for Michelle before I go on to the next person, to the next facilitator? Don't forget you can actually raise your hand as well. So, all right. Let me share my screen. Before I call on the next person, let me quickly share my screen. All right, so we've talked about training. Our training is a well-structured practical training. You'll be taught in in-demand skills. All our tutors are top professionals in the industry, and they are skilled at the practical work and when it comes to facilitating as well. We've talked about optimization of your brand. You get your CV and LinkedIn optimized. So your CV shows your skills and past experiences, and if well optimized, you have a higher chance of being considered, for the role or for the job. And we talked about applying for jobs. So after you've acquired the skills and knowledge necessary on the journey, then you start applying for job. I told you that is another area that we support with as well. We regularly, on a daily basis, we have a community whereby we send a job alert, out on a regular basis on that group that you can apply to as well. But on your own as well, you can apply for as many as possible, because remember, you are not only limiting yourself to your country of residence, but you are capitalizing or leveraging on the entire world, to apply for jobs. So just imagine a data analyst role. How many companies in the world are looking for a data analyst or a scrum master or a product manager, right? But we need to go through that process, that journey, before we can, start competing with people who has been doing it in the industry for the last, 2, 3, 4 years. We help prepare for interview as well, because we believe your success is our success. If you're able to land that job at the end of the day, someone is going to ask you, how did you do it? And you can refer us to them. That is our joy, So we do everything in our power to ensure that, you are well equipped and prepared for that interview before the day. All right, so companies start quickly. Since we started, as I told you, over 10,000 students has been enrolled on this journey so far. And this is the breakdown of last year. This has to be updated as well of each of our courses. And also, 85% of our students, have secured a role, 50 from the public sector and 35% from the private sector. Also, when you join the community you'll be joining, you see these people on that community as well, meaning when you have, let's say you secure the role and you are stuck at work, you reach out to your facilitator, and unfortunately, your facilitator as at that time was busy, couldn't attend to you. You can easily go on that platform, ask the question, and you can be guaranteed that someone on that group will respond back to you, with the answer. That's the benefit. We need to leverage on this kind of a thing as well. All right. So the start date for all our courses, for the master class, which is 3-in-1, you'll be getting project management, Scrum Master, business analyst, starts on the 12th of October. Digital marketing is starting on the 2nd of November. Excel PowerPoint training, 1st of November. Data analysis is starting on the 8th of October. Product management is starting on Monday. Product management and UI UX and Scrum as well is starting on Monday, 30th of September. Database is starting on 12th of October, and software testing is starting on the 10th of October. All right, again, I'm going to be pausing here for now, and I'm going to be calling on our next speaker. So if you're on this call and you are interested in software testing, you are just, you've been hearing about software testing, what it entails, how you can embark on that journey, and how you can make the most out of that journey as well. As I told you earlier on, software testing, we expose you to 3-4 different testing types out there. So meaning you'll be trained on manual testing, you'll be trained on API testing, both manual and on automation. You'll be trained on automation testing, you'll be trained on performance testing. So there's no way you can finish the training and one of these 4, you won't secure it as a role at the end of the program. It is not possible. So without further ado, Emmanuel, over to you. Thanks for 10 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Please confirm you all can hear me. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. So I will be sharing my screen shortly. Please confirm when you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Okay. So good evening once again, and welcome to this session, Quality Assurance Software Testing. So I'll be your facilitator. My name is Manuel Abba-Ubunna. So a brief intro about myself, my journey so far, who I am, what has got me here, and why I chose the career of quality assurance testing. Okay, so my name is Manuel, a graduate of computer science. I graduated from Michael Okpara University, and so this year actually made it, I would say, a decade plus one, okay, in IT space. So I've been in IT space for, let's say, decade plus one. That's 11 years now. I started off my career in 2013. But before then, I was just testing waters, graphics designing, playing around things. But I got serious in 2013, and ever since then, it has been from one level to another. And so today we'll be looking at quality software assurance testing, but a brief experience, my experience through the years. So I started off in software engineering. So I did my assignments, I paid my dues there, developed systems, both front end, back end, database administration, all inclusive. Actually, I got to the point of full stack development. Okay. Then there was a need, there was a hunger to transition. Okay. Yes, I was in the IT space already, but demand industry demand actually pushed me to software testing. But the funny thing there is that before then, I didn't know that there was something called software engineering and software testing. Okay, I thought it was all factored under software engineering. Why I'm saying this is because in quality assurance software testing, you need little or no IT knowledge to actually be a pro in it. Okay, if you are tech savvy, if you exist in this, let's say, century, okay, if you interact with people, if you are up to date with what's happening today in Nigeria, like if you're up to date, if you see things happen, if you read news, you use your phone, that's all that is actually required for you to be a software quality assurance tester. Okay, because all that you are doing, the end game is to test an application from a customer perspective. What do I mean by that? Forget the tech. Yes, there is a tech part to it, like deep tech part to it. But the end game is that I have an application. Can the users, can my target audience actually use this application? If I say I have a banking application, can I ship out a banking application and someone will use it and it will work as expected? It will suit their need. Okay, I don't expect to come on a banking application. I cannot log in. I don't expect to come on a banking application. I won't see my balance and all those stuff. Okay, so that's where quality assurance comes in. We are more like the auditors. We are more like the people that probe an application to make sure that, first of all, it meets customer demand, the user experience is seamless, and the functionalities are working as expected. Okay, so despite the fact that you can start off with little or no IT knowledge or experience, don't think it's just one of those loose IT careers. No, actually, if you check globally, if you check the rating, software engineering and software testers are actually let's say basically on the same level. Okay, because it takes a good software engineer to develop a product that meets customer needs and also drive revenue for the company. And it also takes a QA engineer, a strong QA engineer to actually make sure that the product is good and meets the standard, at least the barest minimum standard. Okay, so don't say that you are less in the IT structure or in the IT metrics. No, you're actually ranked as high as a software engineer. And just like every other profession, if you need the pro level, that means you need to go the extra mile. Yes, there's an extra mile to it where you have to do a little programming, a little scripting, and all this stuff. But yeah, now let's go through the slides, just one or two slides. So the QA in tech industry, just like I said, we play a crucial role in the tech industry. So it's not just anyhow, let it just be that, IT. No, you are as important as a software engineer. Yes, I say that you're as important as a database administrator or database manager. Okay, and you see, the quality QA testers earn an average annual of around 80,000. That's in the US, and this can range. These figures can range from minimum or let's say junior to senior to medium. It all depends on your hunger and your drive. Okay, so just like every other profession, just like every other career, you have to discover, you have to progress and all those stuff. Okay, then our market demand, why is QA needed? When you talk about the user experience, when you talk about minimizing risk, when you talk about improving efficiency, ensuring compliance, these are our metrics, or these are the things that we are called in to kind of oversee or manage. Okay, if an application is to be shipped out, we need to make sure that the user experience meets customer demand, that we are minimizing risk. That means exposure to the company. So if you are working with a bank, I'm sorry I missed out that I've actually worked in a couple of industries. Currently, I work with one of Africa's largest bank, Access Bank, and I can tell you the exposures and the experience that I've gained so far, because you get to see these things from a first-hand level, where you get to interact with customers, you get to interact with so many players, including the bad players, because the products there, you don't actually know who is using it. Okay, so minimizing risks is that you have to test as a hacker, you have to test as a fraudster, you have to test as a normal user, you have to test, you have to switch roles. Okay, improving efficiency. Yes, the application, we don't just stop at, okay, it's working fine. Okay, you need to also look at the angle of improving efficiency. Is there a way to improve a process that takes 2, 3, 4 steps? Can you look at it and then say, okay, can we shorten this? Can you engage your stakeholders, maybe the project managers, the developers? Okay, can we collapse these processes? Instead of having 5 steps, can we collapse it down to, let's say, 2 or maybe 3? Okay, we also play a role in that, and also ensuring compliance. Okay, so different country has their different compliance rules and stuff. So we also make sure that applications that are being shipped out also meet we ensure compliance. So it's not just we are shipping out anything anyone can use, something like cryptocurrency, for example. There are some countries, there are regulations around it. So you as a QA also, you factor these things in when you carry out, or these are the things that we actually called into play. Like when we get into the game, these are the things that we look out for. Okay. Then we proceed to what's it that is involved. Just like Akin said, okay, QA is vast actually, because there are so many aspects to it. Okay, there's the normal introduction, giving you an overview of everything that has to do with QA. The UI testing, the API testing, performance testing. There are so many aspects to it which we'll also look at. Okay, but the good thing is there is that you can start off with one, master it, be a pro. In fact, be a senior QA in, let's say, functional testing or maybe API or web. You can be a senior there, and you can actually be cashing out big. Okay, you don't wait to grab all, the different processes or different aspects of QA before you can say, okay, let me start attempting. As little as just one, maybe functional testing. If you're able to master that, get the terminologies and stuff, you're actually good to go. Okay, then from there you can build your career. Okay, so we'll look at the introduction, which gives us an insight into QA world. What's the expectation? What are the things to cover? Some keywords, some terminologies. You get to familiarize yourself. Then we also look at functional testing, which now functional testing cuts across 3 sub levels. You see that despite the fact that there's the super class and there are still subclasses, to tell you that you can just pick out one, study it, master it, and you are good to go. That's the good and awesome thing about QA. So you can decide to just focus on API testing. What is API? How do we test APIs? How do computers, how do interfaces, applications communicate with APIs? These are the things that we'll be looking out for. These are the things that we'll be testing. And also on the API level, there is performance, there is security testing. There's a whole lot on the API. Just to tell you that you can just master API and you are good to go. Okay. You can also move up to the point of web testing. So we either call it web or UI testing. So UI testing covers the web and also the mobile testing. The mobile testing has to do with your iOS and applications, Android applications. Okay. So the UI comes in where you test from the customer or the consumer point of view. Okay. API is very much technical, it's low level. You're actually testing, your major stakeholders will be the software engineer. Okay. That's the point that you are running the test on. But when you come to UI test, you're actually looking at the website. If it's a website, you're looking at the website, or if it's an application, mobile application, you're looking at testing mobile application, an APK or an iOS application. All these forms under the UI testing. And the good thing about UI testing, just like we use Facebook, we use WhatsApp, we use Instagram, all these applications. On a low level, we are all testers. That's the funny thing, because there are some features. I don't know if you've used some applications and at some point you go like, I need this particular feature. What if this application can do this? You go and type a review. Okay, you type a review, make your complaint and stuff. Then the company picks it up, reviews over it, checks it. Okay, is this a valid review? Then they kind of adjust. Applications evolve. Okay, they are not cast on stone. So on a low level, we are actually testers, and that's where web and mobile testing comes in. Okay, we are actually testing from the consumer point of view. So you don't even need IT skills. Profile you can use an application. Okay, profile you know what a phone is, you know how to launch an application, you know how to hold a phone. I mean, you can do these things. You know what a browser is. You can test on a website. Okay, that's around the functional. So functional testing deals with making sure if I want to log in, I can log in. If I log in, I need to see my account balance. Okay, I'm seeing it. My account balance, if I make a transaction, you need to reduce. So we are testing the functionality. Okay, then the test approach, this is another aspect that I'll be covering, which involves the manual and automation. Okay, so this is another big part in QA. Okay, QA is all over the world. Some of them are manual testers, some of them are automation testers. So the manual testing, you don't need any prior IT knowledge, programming knowledge, or anything. You can just start off manual testing and you are just fine and good. We'll take you through the process. Okay, but automation, this is where you now need basic knowledge of at least one programming language. And I always advise people to use JavaScript. Okay, and the good thing with this course is that we kind of give everyone that privilege to have the basic. We take them through a basic course, JavaScript. So despite the fact that yes, you are doing testing. So if you are up for the class for automation, okay, when the time comes for automation, we are taking through that introductory class which covers JavaScript. Okay, it kind of gives you this is more like a source to the whole package. It kind of gives it extra to you. Okay, it's more like an added advantage. So you get to learn the basics of JavaScript, some keywords, some terminologies, how to write some codes in JavaScript, because that's basically what you'll be using for automation. Okay, so that's for the automation. But if you decide not to go on with automation, fine and good. You can still climb the ladders from junior to medium to senior QA on manual testing, and you'll be cashing out big. Okay, then the non-functional part, which involves the performance, the load test, the stress, the vulnerability. This is now, okay, the application is working fine. But what happens if we are running a campaign, maybe a promotion campaign, and we are doing giveaway, and let's say 500 million customers or users needs to log in? How do we test to make sure that the system can respond fine? So this is where you as a tester also, you have your metrics, okay? You have some specifications you're looking out for. So you run your test and then do the analysis of the data that you are getting. Okay, when we got to this number of users, we started experiencing so and so. When we got to this number of users, the system started slacking. Okay, when we got to this point, the system wasn't working again. So you get all these benchmarks to tell a developer or other stakeholders that, okay, if you are running on this maybe 500 gig RAM and 12 gig RAM and 500 hard disk space in the cloud. Okay, when we start approaching to these numbers, we need to increase our hardware, infrastructure. So these are the roles of QA. So that's why I told you guys, when you look at QA, don't look at it from the angle of just one of those things, just one, no, it's actually deep. So it depends your drive, it depends on your drive, and it depends on your determination, just like I can always say. Okay, next thing we'll be looking at the objective, throughout our session and our courses. We'll be looking at identifying defects, be it on the API level, be it on the web level, be it on the mobile level. Okay, we'll be identifying defects, we'll be ensuring quality. So it's not just okay that I can make transfers. Okay, can I make transfers and with low latency? So if I make transfers out of 10 in a day, how many is likely to drop? So you're also testing to ensure quality. Okay, what I'm shipping out, is it doesn't just stop at meeting customers' need, but also, is it durable? Is it something that can stand the test of time? Is it something that can evolve? Is it scalable? Okay. You also look at, okay, we've talked about manual testing and automation testing, where we kind of differentiated the two. Manual testing just has to do with testing it just like every other users. It's majorly around yeah, we do it also on API level. The API is more like the underlying channel or a gateway, call it channel, call it street, call it connection that feeds your mobile application. Okay, most of you do hear developers say back end or the server. They say the server is down. Okay, so that communication link that links the server and your mobile application or your website and the server, that communication string, that communication link is what we call API. And you as a QA engineer, you also be testing that. So that's what API actually means. Okay, that's just like, bringing it down to what everyone can relate to. So we also manual test APIs, automate test APIs, manual test website, automate test website, manual test mobile application, and also automate test mobile application. So everything inclusive, that's what we'll be looking at all through the course, all through the duration of the course. You've talked about the UI testing, API testing, and vulnerability performances are non-functional. So this time around, we are no longer talking about the functionality of the application, but rather we are looking at the performance, the speed, the efficiency of the system. Okay, so this is just summary. I kind of broke it down on the slide, but I can assure you in QA is very much easy. I would say is an easy entry into tech. Okay, so you can start your career in QA and be rest assured that if you have that drive, if you have that determination, you can even scale to the point that you can attempt software engineering because your stakeholders, you're actually in the middle. Okay, you work some of your stakeholders are the software engineers, some are the database administrators, some are the PMs, some are the business guys that write business analysts. So you interface with each and every of these people. Okay, and I can assure you that when I was in software engineering, I only look at things logically, I only look at things technically. But now as a QA, and actually this is my third going to 40 in QA, and I can tell you that the approach is different. Yes, I still code. Yes, I still write systems, but I no longer write it as when I started off or when I was just doing software engineering, because now I take consideration of some things. Okay, there are some things that a software engineer is looking at from one angle, and maybe the business is looking at it from another angle. But you as a QA, you stand in the middle, look at the risk, look at the technicality, look at the customers you are serving. So you kind of bridge that gap between the technical world and the business logic world. And I tell you, it's actually an interesting career. Okay. And again, it all depends on your drive. It all depends on your determination. But I tell you that once you can master any of this, if you just focus on performance, you just want to be doing performance tests, you can still, climb the ladders to the senior level and deliver exceptionally, have a great career. If you want to do it on the manual or on the automation functional, I mean, you are all good to go. So yeah, that's basically or summarily all there is to QA. I don't know if there's any question from anyone is there anyone that wants that needs a question? Someone is saying I can't hear anything. Please, I need help. Sorry, Waziri. I don't know. Are you still on the call?
No,
Okay,
that's from the person's side. Don't worry.
oh, okay, not from us. Okay, perfect. So that's basically it. I don't know. Is there any question from anyone? Anything you want me to throw more lights on, and I'll do justice. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, please, if you have any question, please kindly raise your hand and we'll take it. So if you want to ask any question as regards software testing, please, this is the opportunity to do so. You can type it in the chat box, or you can as well raise your hand. And I always prepare people to talk. We are on this session to learn together, right? So
Yes.
you shouldn't be shy about raising up your hand and asking questions. Let's learn from you as well. As you are learning from us, let's learn from you as well. The material will be available on, this is to Ghana, Dr. Ghana. The recorded session will be made available on our WhatsApp group, and also it will be available on our YouTube channel by tomorrow. So you can go and follow us now, so that when we upload it on YouTube, you get the notification. So if you just go on YouTube and search for Learn with Pride and follow us, the moment we upload it on YouTube, you can get the material from there. That's to Dr. Ghana. Do you train on software engineering? At the moment, we don't. We only train on software automation. Right. What's the handle for the WhatsApp group? Admin, if you're on the call, please kindly send the WhatsApp group link for Learn with Pride, the enrollment one, the WhatsApp group for the enrollment one. Please kindly send it on the group for people to join. What's the handle? Okay. No, the slides will be made available. So if you come on the journey, if you embark on the journey, you get the hard copy, and other materials on the training. But it's only the video, the recording, which you can get the slides from anyway, that will be made available on our YouTube channel and on the group as well. So I'm sure shortly the WhatsApp link will be posted on the chat. So just bear with us. The QA, is it only applicable to software alone? What about another sector in other production organizations, sir? Emmanuel.
Okay, so our focus is IT, not construction, or it's just IT, software, applications and or whatnot.
Yeah, I think the question is it only IT that tester is needed, or tester is needed in another
Okay.
sector as well, in other
Yes,
sectors as well?
QA is more like I think is a branch. I would say is a branch in audit. Okay, so it cuts across both finance, construction, food manufacturing, agriculture, everything. Okay, the principles are basically the same because you are just there to ensure quality, and customer demands are met, and as easy as simple as that. So it cuts across so many industries, and the principles are more or less the same. It's just that the processes to achieve them might differ, but the principles are just basically the same. Yeah.
There's another question. Does the QA involve any coding other than the JavaScripting?
So any coding, okay, I'll answer this question this way. So QA, when you get to the automation part, it involves coding. It involves writing scripts that would automatically run your test. Okay, but you can decide not to use the coding. Okay, you can decide to do your manual, fine. But there are so many languages. If you want to write automation, you can use your C, you can use your Java, you can use Python. You can also use JavaScript. But I always advise people to use JavaScript because JavaScript is easy. And it's easy to set up your environment, to start your test, to set up your local environment, to run your test and everything. And, programming logic is the same, be it JavaScript, be it C#, be it anything. The logic remains the same. It's just syntax that differs. So if you have an understanding of programming with JavaScript, you can equally program with Java. It's just for you to learn the syntax. So when it comes to language, there are a lot of languages that you can make use, but we always use JavaScript to automate.
All right. Thanks, Emmanuel, for that. And lastly, Olayinka, how long does it take to learn this? So for the software testing program, it's a 5-month program, and during that 5 months, so the first 3 months is dedicated for practical training. That is when you'll be trained on manual testing. That is when you'll be trained on automation testing, API testing, and I think performance testing. Then when you are done with the 3 months practical training, then we'll now put you on a real project for another 2 months. So this is where you'll be working as part of a full Scrum team. In your team, you have the developer, the Scrum Master, product owner, business analyst, and software testers. And all of you are working together as a team to deliver a solution for a client. So you'll be doing that for another 2 months, and you'll be exposed to all these agile way of working, even as a software tester, all the ceremonies, all the agile ceremonies, everything, you'll be exposed to everything as well. So it's a 5 months program for us because we believe in what is worth doing at all, it is worth doing well. Also, between QA and data analysis, which is more needed in the market, I think this is one of the common mistakes people make when considering to transition to tech. You need to consider your own strength. As for the market, it doesn't matter whether as a Scrum Master, as a data analyst, as a software tester, the jobs are out there. But you need to consider what is good for you. You know, that is when you need to focus, you need to understand what your strength is, regardless of what you've been doing for the last 10 years, and what are your soft skills as well. You need to consider these options to be able to decide which one is better for me, because you don't want, because of money, or choose the wrong course. You know, you might embark on that journey and realize that, oh, this is not for me. That is why it is always good, and the reason why we are doing this career tech, to give you the information that you need for you to be able to, for you to be able to make a decision on which one is better. As for the market is there, the job are out there, either as a data analyst or as a software tester. And any one of our program, we are training you more than what you bargain for, so that you can be well prepared and equipped by the time you are done with the training and you start applying for a job. You know, so whichever one you go for, you know, the job is out there. You know, so whether it's a QA or data, you know, the market, you know, the jobs are really out there. Nothing to worry about. And that is to who asked that question. Olayinka. All right. Don't let us waste any more time. So next on the list, I'm going to be calling on Robinson. Are all the 5-month training online? Yes, they are virtual. They are live sessions online. The reason why they are all online is, I asked a question at the beginning of this session. You know, one of the reasons why people are considering to transition is number one, or one of the reasons rather, it might not be number one, it might be number two on your list, but it's part of your list. People wants to be able to work remotely. You know, if I should ask you that question, I'm sure before you list 1 to 10, you made mention of that as well. You want to be able to work remotely. When you work remotely, that means you are working with diverse teams across the world, you know, at the comfort of your home. And that is the same approach we want our training to imitate as well. So that, take for example, as a nurse, you have to physically go in, you know, and do your job. If your training and working on project is physical as well, and eventually you now secure a remote job, how do you cope in that environment? Because you've never been exposed to it. So all our trainings are virtual, although they are not pre-recorded, they are live sessions online. And also, even on the project, it's still remote. You'll be working remotely. You know, your developer might be in Nigeria, your Scrum Master might be in the UK, your product owner might be in another country. You know, everyone is scattered all around the world, but you all come together to deliver a solution for a client. You know, so yes, the simple answer to your question is yes, they are all online, but they are live sessions. Moses, time schedule of the classes. All right, so for software testing runs Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. At night. All sessions are recorded as well, just in case you miss any class, and you'll be onboarded on our learning management system, where you can catch up with the recording if you miss any class by just logging into your dashboard, and you know, you watch the recording. So to Moses, yes, it runs 3 days a week. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. I hope I've been able to answer that question. Any other question, please just drop it on the chat. I'll come back to that. So without further ado, I'm going to be calling on, if you are interested in data analysis. If you're interested with data analysis, this is your chance as well. to learn more about what it entails. Our data analysis is a 5-month program that will expose you, or you'll be trained on Power BI, Tableau, SQL, Python, and Excel. You know, these are 5 industry standard tools that, you know, you cannot do without. You need to know them as a data analyst. So without further ado, Itwen, over to you. Thanks. You're on mute if you're talking.
Hello, good evening all.
All right, good evening.
Okay, my name is Itwen. All right. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can. Oh,
My screen.
your network is not.
Okay, thank you once again. My name is Itwen. I have about 5 years of experience as a data analyst. Can you all hear me?
Yeah, go
Hello,
on.
can you all hear me?
I think it's better now. Go on.
Okay, my name is Itwen. So I have about 5 years experience as a data analyst working in the e-commerce and retail sector. I hold a degree in computer science. So for this evening, I'll be engaging you people on why data analytics is a choice career in 2024. All right. So what is data analysis? It's simply the process of inspecting, cleaning, transforming, and modeling your data to discover useful information, inform conclusion, and support decision making. All right. So data analysis play important role in every business. In helping the business optimize, make informed decision, and also understand the trend sector. You can think about the marketing, the finance, the healthcare, logistics, and a whole lot of them. So I'm going to talk about understanding data analysis. So the process of data analysis is a systematic approach. It involves a lot of stages, all right? So we will walk you through each of these stages during our session when we start our session, each of these stages, because each of these stages define objective to data storytelling. Types of data analysis. We basically have descriptive data analysis are categorized into 4 different categories. We have the descriptive, we have the diagnostic, we have predictive and prescriptive analysis. All right. So each of these categories serves unique purpose by providing different insight. So the descriptive asks what happened. The diagnostic asks why did it happen. The prescriptive asks what will happen. Sorry, the predictive asks what will happen, and the prescriptive asks how can we make it happen. So these are the different categories of data analysis. All right, so the critical role of a data analyst. A data analyst in today's world plays a critical role in every business. So business that can harness the power of data analysts are better positioned to adopt changing and drive growth and productivity. Let's look at the market demand. Now, the market demand for the role of a data analyst is continuously increasing. Now, because of the increase in the market demand for the role of a data analyst, this creates a great opportunity for professionals with the right skill to secure high demand and well compensated role in various sectors. Like we said, that data analysis is applicable to every sector, every business sector that you can think about. All right. So the required skills, what are the required skills? All right. So there are basically two types of skills. You need the technical skills and the non-technical skill. All right. So the technical skill will involve your proficiency in SQL, Python, Excel, Power BI, Tableau, and other business and other data analysis tools. On the part of soft skill, as a data analyst, you have to have a strong communication skill, because after you've done your analysis, you should be able to communicate your finding to your audience. Remember, your audience most times are not going to be technically inclined. So you have to be able to communicate your findings to your audience. So that's a skill. It's a very important skill, all right? Strong communication skill for presenting data insight, problem-solving ability to identify trends and anomalies, all right? So another one could be business acumen. So you also need to have a strong domain knowledge. You have to understand the industry that you are operating in, all right? Understanding of industry helps you to set the right KPI that is tailored to achieving the business objective. Let me dwell on this a little. Now, you are not the domain expert, all right? So that means you'll be working with the stakeholders to understand the domain knowledge of the environment. So with the right understanding of the domain knowledge, it becomes easy for you to set the KPIs that are achievable, that are measurable, which helps improve the performance of the business environment that you're working in, all right? So the next thing, our next slide talk about the career advantages. Data analysis is a very lucrative career, all right? Lucrative in the sense that there's high demand for specialized skills, ensuring competitive salaries for data analysts, even at the starting stage, all right? A data analyst is highly prized in terms of the value, in terms of the salary that is paid to a junior data analyst or a data analyst that is just coming into the industry. Why? Because of the demand. There's huge demand for the role of a data analyst. All right. So another thing is diverse opportunities. Data is broad, is vast, is a very wide ecosystem. So there is room for you to transition from data analyst to data engineering to data science to machine learning and a whole lot of it. So various career paths in data engineering, business intelligence, and data science. So another career advantage of data analyst is continuous learning. All right. It's a very dynamic field that creates opportunity for you to learn. You never stop learning. All right. So you keep learning. It creates room for you to learn. You keep learning new things because new technologies are emerging every day. For example, the business intelligence tools, a lot of it are coming into the system every day, and different business environments may decide to pick a different tool. So there's room for you to transition from one tool to the another, from one tool to another. So it's not a static field. There's so much to learn. There's so much information available in the field of data. All right. Another thing is global relevance. All right. So you are able to play at any level. You're globally relevant. All right. So data analytics skills are in demand worldwide, providing opportunities across different countries and borders. Like Akin rightly said, you're not limited to your environment as a data analyst. The same skill is applicable everywhere. Once you are proficient in a particular tool, you can work anywhere. The same knowledge that you have for that tool can be deployed anywhere. So you are not limited by environment, all right? So my next slide talks about the future outlook of a data analyst. So the importance of data analytics will grow as technology evolves and data volume increases. The data volume keeps increasing. It keeps increasing. As the data volume keeps increasing, the more there is need for more hands, the more there is need for the role for people to fill in the role of a data analyst, and more technologies are coming into play. The more technologies are being deployed into the system, all right? So the importance of data analysts keeps growing as technology evolves and as data volume keeps increasing. Another thing is advancement in AI and machine learning. This will enhance data analytics capabilities and foster innovations. So the last one is data analytics professionals will be essential in shaping organizational strategy and impactful decisions. Every business wants to make progress. Every business wants to optimize. Every business wants to make progress, wants to make profits. So now every business is now engaging the role of a data analyst, not just a data analyst, but skillful data analyst, someone that knows what to do, someone that can advise a business on what decision to take to improve the business performance and also to improve the return on investment. So a data analyst has become very, very important in today's business world, irrespective of any sector. In the school, in the education, in the agri sector, in the health sector, whatever sector you can think of, the role of a data analyst has become very, very important. Now, this creates a room for people to take advantage, not just taking an advantage, but equip yourself for this opportunity, all right? So for you to be able to take advantage of this opportunity, you must arm yourself with the necessary tools that are available. So in Learn with Pride, we've been able to pick the 5 key tools that are dominating the industries. We have picked Excel, we've picked Power BI, we've picked Python, and we've picked Tableau. So these are the key tools that are dominating the industry. So we have carefully selected these two, and we have selected these two to arm our students with the hope that if you are proficient in any of these two, you should be able to compete with others out there. All right, you should be able to compete with others out there. So I am hoping that we will take advantage of this opportunity that we have provided on Learn with Pride. Come on board. There is so much to learn. We are not just learning stories. We are practical oriented in our classes. We don't talk stories, even though we balance the practical with the theoretical aspect, but our emphasis is on the practical aspect. We already have the industry experience. Coupled with the industry experience that we have, we are going to train everyone that is willing to come on board on how to take advantage of the opportunities that are available in this career. And we are also going to arm you with all these tools that we've listed: Excel, Power BI, Tableau, and Python. We're going to take time to explain things in details and in a practical format, so that at the end of the day, you'll be able to compete with others out there in the field. So that's basically what I have for all of us today. I'm hoping that we would take advantage of the opportunity that Learn with Pride has offered. So I'm also expecting to meet with all of you that are going to take advantage of this opportunity in the class, where we are going to explore everything about data analysis, right from data extraction, data cleaning, data transformation, modeling, and visualization and how we can present our findings that it can easily be implemented by the stakeholders. So that's basically what I have to present to you this evening. So I'm open to any question that you feel you will have to get more understanding on how you can take advantage of this opportunity. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Itwin. Please, if you have any question as regards data analysis, please kindly ask now. You can ask by dropping your questions in the chat or by raising up your hand, and I'll let you unmute yourself to ask your question. So data analysis runs, as I said earlier on, it's a 5-month program as well. It runs 2 days, twice a week, every Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. as well. And all the sessions are recorded as well, just in case you miss any session, and you can catch up with that session at the end of the day. So the way we run it is each month will focus on a particular tool. So take, for example, you start with month 1, it might be on Power BI. The whole of that month might be on Power BI. And at the end of that month, you undertake a project based on the tool that you just completed. So meaning at the end of your 5 months, you should be able to showcase 5 different projects in your portfolios to recruiters when you start applying for a job. So that's how we structure our data analysis program. I think there's a question. Precious, you are okay. Are you raising your hand, right? Is it possible for me to learn only Python and Tableau with you? As I said, it's your choice, but the price is still the same thing because you are getting, you'll be getting 5 different trainings for the price of one, you know. So one on a good day will still cost you the same thing, but we just want you to get maximum value for your money. So whether it's one you want to do, whether it's 2, whether you want to capitalize on the whole 5, the price is still going to remain the same. You know, that is to Olayinka. Yes, I just want everyone to, all the facilitators to finish talking, and I'll share my screen to show you the slide for the price, but we'll be there in the next 20 minutes. We should be there. Does every hospital school have a data analyst? Each one, do you want to take that?
Okay. So I've seen a question here that says, does every school, hospital have data analysts? So like I said, if you pick some of the things I said that for you to compete with others out there and for you to optimize, then the role of a data analyst cannot be overemphasized. And many sectors are taking advantage of this currently because you want to make an informed decision. You want to make decision that is based on fact. You don't just want to make a decision based on your intuition or based on hearsay. All right, for you to make a right decision, to make an informed decision, or to compete with others out there, then you need the role of a data analyst. You need a data analyst in your environment. And many companies, schools, hospitals, talk about any sector, they are embracing the role of a data analyst in their environment currently. That's why data analyst has become like one of the highly demanded highly demanded role currently, because every sector wants to optimize. If you must optimize, you want to know about how you have been performing in the past. You want to know about how you're performing currently, and you want to know the decision you have to take to get to where you're going to. All right. So if you must make such decision, you need somebody that will be able to look at your data, look at your records, analyze your records, and tell you this is where you are and this is where you are. You can be at this time if you take a so and so decision. So the role of a data analyst cannot be overemphasized. So if you are saying if schools and hospitals, yes, a lot of schools are taking advantage of this. They are employing data analysts. A lot of hospitals are employing data analysts. In fact, when you come on board, we are going to carry out analysis on hospital records. So you can see what a data analyst can do to make the system become very easy, become very profitable, become very easy both for the patient and for the management. All right.
Thank you for that, Ritwan. Let me quickly take this before I call on our next speaker. Where is
Mr. Akin, can I take this question, this last question? Hello, Mr. Akin, can I take this last question?
Yes, yeah, you can take it.
So there's a question that says, how do I apply data analyst to church? All right. There are churches that have branches everywhere, right? If you're a very active member of a church, you discover that every day that churches, they take record of people that turn up to church that day. So if you want to measure the growth of a church, what are the metrics you use? There are key metrics that you will use. You will look at the attendance, all right? You look at the attendance for a particular month. You will look at the attendance, you check how many people came. What was the total number of people that turned up this month compared to the previous month? With that, you can measure the progress of the church. All right. There are so many things. All right. Let's not even go into the financial aspect. Let's just limit it to the number of people that turn up. All right. So you can measure the growth of the church within a year. You can know whether this parish is doing well in terms of the attendance or if it's not doing well by comparing the month by month or service by service attendance. You will look at it on a gender level, the number of male that turn up, the number of female that turn up, the number of children that turn up. That can help you plan. It can help you plan facility for the children, because if you now discover that you have so many children that are coming into the church, you will now think of making a good and a nice environment for the kids. That's another way of attracting more people to the church. So there's a lot you can do with data, even in the church. A data analyst can play a vital role in positioning the church to attract more people to the church. Is that okay?
All right. Thanks for that. Olayinka, you said CV drilling and interview training. Yeah, so for CV, CV cover letter and LinkedIn optimization, we partner with another company, with a CV company that gives our students 70% discount for that, right? But for interview preparation, we undo that. Also, we do CV review. We can review your CV, but if you need to revamp your CV, you might need to either go with the one that will give you 70% discount, or if you have anyone that can do that for you as well, you can as well go with them. But interview preparation, any other thing we do for you as well. JB, please, any possible adjustment on the days, stays, weekend? We have, unfortunately, because we have different trainings that we run. So we have trainings from Monday to Saturday, every day, right, that we run. So unfortunately, the days might not change. Will remain Tuesdays and Wednesdays. But for the timing, it is possible because UK, I think in October, our timing, we are going one hour, we are going 1 hour ahead, so we'll be 1 hour ahead. So meaning we need to adjust the timing for the meeting. In that instance, based on the previous ones that we've done, the training would drop down to 7:30. The training will go down to 7:30 so that we can match the timing for that period. So that's what we can do. But again, in class, if the whole class concurs with the time change, like to be starting at 7 p.m., why not? They can start with 7 p.m. But what we pitch out to everyone, is 8 p.m. But in October, because of the time change, it will go, the start time will be 7:30 instead of 8 p.m. All right. So quickly, for those considering database administrator, this is your time to learn more about database administrator now. So if you've been hearing about DBA, and you don't know how to go about it, this is the opportunity now for you to learn and to see whether it's something that you can do as well. Without further ado, Michael, please, over to you. Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, good evening, guys. Please,
Yeah,
if you can hear me. Okay, you can hear me loud and clear, right?
Yes, I can.
All right, let me share my screen. Okay. All right, good evening, everyone, once again. You're welcome to do some presentation, all right? I am going to be talking about, this is an introductory webinar for future database administrators and or engineers. So you can also be called a database engineer, that's the same thing. So it's also known as a DBA, a database administrator. So meeting your facilitator. My name is Adeniran Michael. I'm a certified mechanical engineer and maintenance engineer, but I decided to transition into tech about 4 or 5 years ago. That was when I made that decision while I was working with a power company as a maintenance engineer. I really needed something that would give me the flexibility to work remotely and something that will make me have time for my family, friends, and will give me the room to actually use everything I have properly or everything I know. Being in the engineering space, I understood the use of data and having a deep foundation in mathematics and statistics. I knew that I'll need that knowledge, and I loved telling stories, okay? So I love telling stories. So data analysis was the first thing I went for because I wanted to see how I can use data to actually tell stories. So I discovered that it was something that resonated with who I was or who I was then. So from there, I decided to transition into data engineering and database engineering and database administration. So the beautiful thing about tech is that most of this skill you learn, you can, like one of the facilitators said earlier, you can actually use them to transition into another tech role quite easily. So if you learn data analytics and you want to move to data science, it's quite easy for you to just move because all you also need to do is to improve the Python, the SQL and some things and go deeper, or you learn how to use it in that particular aspect. So that's how it is too for database administration and data engineering, although data engineering has a lot to do with learning some specific tools. But tonight I'm dealing with database administration because that's my major area. All right, this is what I look like. And let's go straight to the point. What is database administration? Before I go there, let me show you. This is what a typical day in a database, in the life of a database administrator looks like. So you start your day by getting to the office. When you get there, you check your dashboard. If the server is still running, or if the database is still up and running. Before I go further, the database is simply defined as where data is stored, where data is kept and stored. So wherever data is kept and stored, that's what we refer to as a database. All right. So your database is where data is kept. So the first thing you check is the dashboard, and to check if the database is still running, or if the server is still running rather. Then you check your overnight batch jobs. That's the first thing I do to check if my backups run successfully or some other things. Then I'll be able to support any user that wants to log into the app that was unable to log into it. And I'll review support tickets and look for those I can help. Then the next thing is I optimize queries and check. I triage user requests and optimize queries, okay? If there are queries that the marketing department and the sales department have been writing that have been quite slow, I'll make sure I help them to optimize it. Then the next thing is I clarify requests and schema changes. All right. So there's many stakeholders we work with as database administrators. We work with developers, data engineers, data architects. We conduct stress tests. Then we determine appropriate server resources that is needed for every single project. So everything that the typical life of a database administrator looks like is what we are going to be studying and what we are going to do in this course. So and the database has a life cycle, all right? So there's a place where we check the requirement analysis, we design and plan a database, we learn how to design it, we learn how to implement the database, and another thing is we learn how to monitor and maintain our database, okay? So let me quickly go back. So what is database administration? Is a specialized field, all right? And it's a specialized field that has to do with database design, database modeling, schema development, query optimization, data security, performance tuning, data migration, backup, and recovery. So this is the guide that makes sure that the data where data is stored, there's adequate backup, and if there's loss in data, it can always recover. Or when there's a power cut or something and there's problem with the database or server, there will be recovery. So database administration involves creating and maintaining structure and systems that store, organize, and retrieve data efficiently. And you are the guy that is in charge of checking if the database server is running properly. All right, so that's the thing you do. So what roles can a database administrator or engineer apply for? Database engineer, you can apply for that role. You can apply for the role of a database administrator. You can apply for a data engineering role. You can apply for a database architect role. You can apply for the role of a database developer. And you can apply for the role of a database manager, a database analyst. You can apply for these roles. Then Eric Schmidt made a particular comment. He said there are 5 exabytes of information created between the dawn of civilization through 2003. But that much information is now created every 2 days. So if that much information is created every 2 days, it's simply, or especially with the advent of Internet of Things, where almost everything now generates data from your shoe to your wristwatches to your handband to whatever. So your television and other things, almost everything now generates data. So if that much data is generated, it means a few years from now, and the request or how data professionals are needed, they will always be needed, and that request will always keep increasing. And the world will always need data analysts, data professionals, data scientists, and everyone in that ecosystem. So that means there are serious opportunities in the data field. So what should be your role? Plug in yourself into the data space. So how to become a database administrator in 4 months. The training will be for 4 months. So about this training, you are going to learn database design, database modeling, schema development, query optimization, indexing, data security, performance tuning, backup, and recovery. You are going to learn how to perform backups and recovery. You are going to learn how to perform performance tuning. And if you look at the right-hand side, that's what we refer to as a database design or a model. You are going to learn how to perform forward and reverse engineering. You are going to learn how to use drag and drop and how to also write the code. So this is the training curriculum. We'll go deep using MySQL Workbench. We'll learn SQL. We'll learn how to use advanced SQL. Then we'll learn database design and modeling. Then we are going to learn how to maximize Python for database administration. And we are going to learn NoSQL. SQL simply means structured query language. That's what you use in dealing with any data that can be arranged in tables and columns. That's what you use. But when you are dealing with data that is not arranged in columns and rows, something like your audio, music, photos, anything, when you want to deal with that kind of data, you use NoSQL. NoSQL simply means not only SQL. And there's a particular data type kind of database, the most popular, which is MongoDB. That's the one we are going to focus on in this course. Then we are going to learn how to use phpMyAdmin for database administration. Then we are going to have a capstone project that is going to tie everything we've learned together. But every month we are going to have a project. We are going to have a capstone project for every single thing we learn each month. Then every week we have assessments, so I can know the level of progress people have made in the course, so that we won't assume our students are understand what we are saying. We'll simply, in Learn with Pride, we care about you that much. I will make sure that you have the correction during the assessment. We check the ones you've got wrong and the ones you got right. Then there will be projects, and the projects will be a reflection or an extension of something we have done in the class. So the student does not have to, it wouldn't find it esoteric or kind of something that looks strange. Okay, it will be something that he has done before, but it's going to just improve upon it. And my Python class is one of the best. We'll simplify everything and break it down, even if you do not have the foundation. The Python we refer to here is not a snake, it's simply a programming language. All right, we have different programming languages. A programming language is something you use to communicate with a computer. All right, you can't use English to communicate with your hardware. You use a programming language to communicate with the hardware. So this is everything we are going to learn under SQL using my SQL Workbench. We'll understand the basics of SQL, CRUD operations, which is create, read, update, and delete. This is where we will learn how to create a database. We'll learn how to read data. We'll learn how to update a database. We'll learn how to delete a database. We are going to focus on MySQL dialect of SQL. We are going to understand the importance of databases and their role and the role of SQL, structured querying language. Then we are going to learn how to write queries and advanced queries. Then we are going to learn how to automate using triggers, stored procedures, and indexing. Then we are going to learn database management and how to monitor performance, how your database is doing. You are the guy that should understand the health of the database or the server. So that, have you not heard most time when people say server is down? Okay, so when the server is down, it is the job of the DBA to know. All right. So you will learn how to design a database using forward and reverse engineering. Then we are going to understand how a database administrator can optimize a database. Optimization simply means how to make the database to work better, to store data better, and make sure the user can receive the data much more easily. To summarize something like this, I am simply saying that when you are using your app or a website, an e-commerce website, your app on your phone, your app on your laptop, every single one of them take in data. When you were registering as a member of Facebook or a new member or a new user, they collected data from you. They collected your name, your address, phone number, email. Those things are what we refer to as data. Data just simply means information. Okay, information about a thing, a person, or a place. That's what we mean by data. So MongoDB, we will understand NoSQL, which simply means not only SQL, and the difference between relational and non-relational databases. There are many kinds of databases. Relational databases is where you use SQL because it is structured. It is in a tabular format. So anything you can arrange in row and column is where you use SQL. So you will learn the difference between NoSQL. You learn about different NoSQL databases. We have the document type, the column type, and many other type of NoSQL database. You are going to understand the basics of MongoDB. All right, MongoDB is Mongo database. All right, they're not talking about a fruit. we're talking about MongoDB. So we understand what we mean by collections, what we mean by clusters, and how to aggregate data in MongoDB. Then we are going to understand indexing and how to monitor the performance of queries in MongoDB. So Python, we are going to understand the basics of Python, understand advanced Python. We are going to understand the use of Python in data manipulation. We are going to be using Anaconda specifically. Then we are going to understand how to connect Python to MySQL databases and how you can write your queries from Python, all right, as a DBA. Then you are going to understand how to connect Python to MongoDB databases. Do I need a computer science background? No. At least I don't have the background of computer science. I am a data, I'm a maintenance engineer by profession or by training, or what we call a mechanical engineer. I attended Federal University of Technology, Mina. So that's what I learned. That's what I was trained on. Okay. And but I decided that I wanted to learn this. And this is an example of something I once designed. Okay. So you do not need that background. All you have to do is come with a determination that you want to learn, come with a mindset that you can actually learn, and you are willing to pay the price to learn. Because I believe Learn with Pride will give you the best, and I'm ready to give you the best. Anything I need to do to make sure that you understand what I'm teaching or what I am privileged to actually bring to your know. So whatever we decide to teach is something that is trusted and has been tested many times. So we take it from the basics. Even if you do not have the foundation, we give you from the foundation and we build upon it brick by brick. So the same way a house is built, that's how we build it, precept upon precept, line upon line, as the Holy Scripture says. So where to get jobs after this? You can use LinkedIn, Twitter, Indeed.com, Dentry.io, Upwork, Fiverr. Just join it. So just join.it. We can use Upwork. You can apply for remote jobs. You can be a data modeler full time. All right. And you are going to make a lot from it. Before I say thank you, this is how it looks like. Okay. This is what you are going to monitor. This is how you check if your server is still running. You can see that it is running, right? It is showing me the CPU load, the traffic, the connection, and everything. So this is where data is stored, and this is how we store data actually. And you can actually check, you can actually use your data like this and check. So this is what we mean by SQL. We write this code and we learn how to write more complicated code. So this is what we mean by tabular data, where you can use SQL for. So this is what we actually mean. Then this is what we mean by a dashboard. You can actually check, just like the way the dashboard in your car actually shows you that the fuel is going down, the light is on, or a particular door is open. That's the same thing the dashboard does here. Okay, the dashboard shows you the health of your database and how much it is absorbing and giving out. So that's what you check here. Then we have the place of using MongoDB. MongoDB looks like for NoSQL. Take millions and millions of data. You can store them in here. You can store your music, anything you like. And you learn how to use Python. Okay, this is our hospital management app. You learn how to write codes in Python anyway. So this is an example of your Python code, but we are not going to be writing something complicated like this. So for instance, I can start this. And when I decide to start it, this is what it will give me. I designed this app myself and I called it Learn with Pride Hospital Management System. I wrote the code myself. So this is an example of an app, and it shows you that you can collect data from here and store it in your database. So this is one of our projects. So if you have this as a project, I don't think there's an employer that can actually ignore you. They know you know what you are doing. And you learn, I think in this course, we'll learn how to connect an app to the database itself. So that database admin can, you will understand how to do this, how to cooperate with software developers, and how to create apps that they can make use of, and how to contribute when you are in meetings with them. Okay, that's the whole essence of understanding Python too, so that you can make meaningful contribution to the meeting. So if you're having an app like this, you can save anybody's information you decide to save, and it's going to reflect at the back end. All right. Data is quite important, and I think data is one of the things even most churches make use of. I had a question, I think, during the data analytics presentation. I think churches make use of data much more than we think. Okay, because I've worked on several analytics projects that has to do with churches. So where data is collected influences analytics. It influences the inference that is drawn from the data. Okay, if the information is not correctly collected and stored properly through proper design of a database and through proper collection and security, it means the inference we are going to draw from that kind of data, whenever we want to use it for analytics or for anything, it will definitely be wrong. Okay, so the place of collecting data properly, there are data producers and data consumers in the data ecosystem. A database administrator is a data producer. You're a guy that collects data and you store them. You make sure that they are stored. Like I told you, your data is simply information about you, a person, a thing, an animal, anything can be data when you collect it in proper context. So thank you very much. If you've got any question, I'll be right here to attend to it.
Thank you, Michael. So if you have any question, please, this is the time, because of our time, to ask the question you want to ask. So Database Administrator is a 4-month program that will expose you to everything that he has shared in his content, in the course content. It runs 2 days a week as well, Fridays and Saturdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. UK time. So if you want to get on board, this is the opportunity to do so as well. So if you have any question, please kindly drop your questions or raise your hand on the chat. Michael Olayinka is asking, any professional exam?
All right, Olayinka, there are several professional exams, and there's Oracle database exam. I think I'm certified by Oracle. I am certified by Google as a cloud database engineer to administrator. So you can immediately after this course will prepare you for those kind of exams. So you can actually take those exams and you will pass them completely. And we also have a way of supporting you to prepare for these professional exams. And I have complete materials that is going to help you. And if you need coaching for those exams, because these certifications will actually help you and present you in better light in front of employers, and they actually need you. So they would want to know if you have some professional certification. So I think this course prepares you for that, because while I was preparing the curriculum, I also had that in mind.
Thank you, Michael, for that. Any other question? All right, no other question for now. All right, the next one's supposed to be the master class that will expose you to project management, business analysis, and Scrum 3-in-1 if you are embarking on that journey. But unfortunately, the facilitator has got an emergency to attend. So for those interested in that, I will play the recordings to you of our last session, and just to know what it entails and for you to be able to make an informed decision as well. So I'm going to be sharing my screen. And
Aki,
yes,
I think there are questions here.
All right, yeah, you can take them.
Okay, Rachel said, if I want to learn more than one course, do I pay for all the courses?
Oh, if I want to learn more than one course, do I pay for all the courses? So the good thing about joining Learn with Pride is when you enroll for the first one, right? Because you are now already a student. On the next course, if you're interested in any other course that we do offer as well, we give our students special discount, to the extent that sometimes you can get up to like 70% discount. on other ones that you want to embark on, right? Because you're already a student. So yes, you get the second one much cheaper if you are going
All
for
right.
it.
Okay. Anthony asked the question, you say, what cloud provider do you support with your data based engineering? All right. We support Google Cloud, okay? Google Cloud and AWS. Any of them you want to make use of, we'll just show you how to register for free and how to make use of it, okay? And you can do that. Having a cloud, the skill for the cloud too is also an added advantage. But if we wanted to teach it in this course, it would have been a lot more bulkier. But we'll just teach you what to do and how to present yourself to an employee. Because no matter how well you are trained offline, they will still need to teach you, to give you their own practical teaching. So, but we support Google Cloud and the rest. I'll give you materials on that to learn on your own.
Yeah, thank you for that. Any other question from anyone? All right. For those interested in masterclass, which is the project management, business analysis, and Scrum, I'm going to share my screen now, and we'll listen to the recorded one.
So I would be a bit brief and high level so that I can manage and maximize our time. So yeah, my name is Toya David, and I'm going to be taking you on a site scene on what it entails to be a project manager and a business analyst. So please, if you cannot hear me clearly, just say something.
We can hear you.
Okay, but all right, thank you. All right, so I'm going to be giving us tips on the aspects of project management, which is basically, divided into two major aspects. They call one the. Before we delve into this, I would like to tell us who a project manager is, a business analyst, and from there we can now have a basic understanding. But before then, I'd like you to meet me. Tomayo David is my name. I'm a project manager, a Prince 2 certification. I'm also a business analyst. So if you see in between these lines, I was a business analyst and project manager at 99 Apartments. It is a property tech company. While at Energy Crosshair, which is a renewable energy company, I was also a business analyst and a project manager. Project manager in these two companies, Pillar Oil. This is Work Tips Pro, a Canadian. I've been a project manager in those companies. So I'm going to tell you more about the experience, rather than doing so much of teaching today. So I'm going to be telling you what do you expect, or what do you if you are a project manager. So briefly, before I start going into all these details, if you are a project manager, just know that you have a very high level of responsibility in a company, because the management sort of hands over any tangible project or tangible that they are doing and expect a delivery, monitoring, controlling, and overall quality assurance that you are going to deliver what the customer. So that's the high responsibility that is placed on you as a project manager. So this said, you have to be build so much leadership capabilities. And I'm saying this because these are the bedrock of who a project manager will be. You have to be a great leader, a communicator. You have to be someone that is fast with his thinking. And finally, to ease your mind, you don't have to have any coding skill. A lot of people run away when they hear coding. I see, so many presentations are saying those are fantastic, but you might still not essentially need any of being a coding expert to be able to either a waterfall project manager or an agile project manager. You may not necessarily need it. In fact, you do not actually. Yeah. So because project management in quotes, it's a framework that you need to understand. Once you understand the framework and you are experienced in using this framework, it's something that will work for you every other time. Now, look at it. So project management involves planning, executing, and closing projects while meeting specific goals and success criteria. So what your target is in a project is that you want to meet a goal. And who sets this goal? Goals are set mainly by the customers. Anyone that is for the project sets the goals. They are the ones that need action. So as a project manager, you have to have great planning skills, executing skills. You have to know how to communicate on the project and also monitor project's progress. Excuse me. So there are some phases in project management, which is usually we call it in waterfall, the planning phase, the documentation phase, the execution phase, closing phase. But in general terms, we can call it the requirement phase, which is where you understand what requirement goes into a project. Also, the design, where you actually do planning and design whatever you want to see on the paper to guide people that are going to be working on the project. Then implementation is where the work is. That means people come together to actually put what you have gathered as requirements, design, and actually put it into work and make it a live entity. Then the verification can be also called testing, yeah, or where you do quality assurance. Then finally, there's maintenance. Yeah, so this phase is usually categorized as a general project phase, but more tilted towards the agile process. Yeah, so another thing in waterfall is that there's a documentation phase that is very essential. I was working in a company as a project and business analyst, and my role was to be the document controller. So I understand what it means. Documentation is heavy when it comes to waterfall projects. It means that you must understand how to document, how to keep the documents, and how to present your documents. Very important. So mostly every phase you do or you go up in a project, you must actually have a documentation to back it up. And let me quickly give you why this is necessary. It is necessary because there's one thing in project that they call learning from experience. So you have to be able to have sufficient documentation such that when your company is revisiting such project or similar projects, they can have something to learn from and not start all over again. So it's very important. It's a rule in project that we take very seriously. Another thing in waterfall projects is that, well, this is sort of like a disadvantage. Yeah, that's why we have so many methodologies, which waterfall is of them. It is rigid and difficult to adapt to changes. Now, take for instance, you are building a house, which is a project. You would not, yeah, you would not anyway want changes because changes will cost you money, it took time, and so it can change the face of your design. So those are the things changes can cost. When you work for projects, it's very difficult to adapt to change. Doesn't mean change doesn't happen, but I mean, it's not something that they take friendly. So it means that your level of execution should be almost there perfect, such that you wouldn't need change. Because changes in therefore might mean that you are destroying things or you're pulling down things. So that's what it is. Now, yeah, examples, projects like construction, event planning. In fact, renovating your house is a project that is waterfall. Now, when you look at how fall, talking literally about, you see falls from top to bottom. You have been to a waterfall before. That model is what is adopted in this terminology used such that everything is falling on each other. That one must before it can flow to the other and fall on the other and fall, meaning that there are dependencies. That means your project depends on each other. You cannot dig a foundation without first of all getting an acquainted. So that's how that depends and connects with each other. Also, you cannot roof a house without erecting the structure. it's impossible. So you take things step by step, very meticulous processes that you need to achieve. That is what you get if you're a project manager. You to do all with ease. Now let's look at what it is about. Meanwhile, I'm just giving high level. Project management is very wide. So I mean, if you enroll, you see for yourself. Now let's go to what Agile is. So Agile is a measure that makes and speed up processes that can take you weeks or months to as small as days. Now, how do you apply Agile method to a project? Once a project is not structural, mean waterfall that I just explained, once it is dealing with software, and people have done justice to that from the product from Kemi that talked about product management, also from Michael, they've touched software, right? So if you are developing software as a project, you use the Agile methodology to manage because it's work fast, it delivers efficiently, and also it's the most important part of it is that it allows for continuous testing. So you are almost near assured that you can deliver a project in a week if you use the Agile methodology. Anyway, Scrum is what we'll focus on if you're enrolled, and is the most popular Agile methodology. Scrum itself is a framework, right? And we have other Agile methodologies such as Kanban, Extreme Programming, we have BDM, that's Dynamic System Development Management, Lean, we have Crystal, we have a lot. There are lots, but the most popular of them is Scrum. And when those Scrum, not even popular, the most demanded of them. So anyone hiring you as a project man would first of all have the understanding Scrum. The others, for instance, XP is more of programming. So if you are a technical project manager, yeah, maybe that can work for you. But if just being a project manager who's specialized in delivering projects at a high level, you need a cool skill set. I mean, technical skill set. I'm talking about knowing how to develop softwares. Maybe you don't need to do that. Right. So, but Scrum is a framework, simple and adaptable to all methods. So let me move forward that. So in Scrum or in Agile, right, we have what they call continuous feedback and reviews. It helps us to better appreciate the customer need because there is feedback every time. Imagine a mobile application, and the first thing I do is I do the UX UI, like the interface, and I call, for a lot of people, say, check out this interface. Color to the font. Some people can say, you know what, we don't like this color. This color doesn't resonate. This color hurts us, or whatever. So all those things can give you feedback on how to ensure that product or your solution is being adapted to a customer need, end user, customer or end user. So that's about Agile. There's continuous feedback and reviews and adaptation. So you can over and ensure that you can refine something. Yeah, you can refine it and ensure that you get the perfect product. For instance, refine it extra. You can't do it and put it down and down. No. But software, it's just line of codes that you can design and do it again and do it again. Another thing is there is iteration is there's a short development cycle called sprint. That means just a week. Sometimes in less than a week, you can deliver a tangible product. You can. That's what the word iterate means. Be done in a short period of time, and done over and over again over a short period of time. Now, also there is testing. I think I mentioned that Agile will enable them to test your product. So there's always frequent testing. So you almost will not put a product in the market that is not working. It's impossible. It's impossible. There's no way the product will get to the final work, because if it doesn't pass testing, it doesn't go anywhere. Waterfall project, a lot of people will just do something, maybe that's the strength of their cement, supposed to be 5.0, it's 4. And they should just say, okay, let's allow it try, right? In agile or any agile framework, right? It's not possible. You know that testing is fast, and testing is automated, so you have to just go and do it. So that's the beauty. That thing is, there's cross-functional collaboration between developers, testers.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Because of our time, I would like to stop here for now. As I said, the recording will be sent out. Anyway, this one is a recorded one anyway. So I just want us to have a feel of, what you'll be getting for those that will be enrolling on the masterclass. As I said, masterclass is a 3-in-1. You'll be trained on project management, you'll be trained on Scrum Master, and also you'll be trained on business analysis. It's a 5-month program that runs 3 days a week as well. It runs on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Monday and Wednesdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Saturday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And the first 3 months will concentrate on the practical training. So each month will be devoted to a particular course. Take, for example, if you start on project management, the whole of that month will be on project management. Then you move on to the second month, will be another course, another training entirely. Then the third one, another training entirely. When you are done with that, then we'll put you on a project, on a real project for another 2 months, where you'll be working with a full Scrum team as well. And the good thing about this particular program is you'll be getting your hands dirty in 2 projects, one real project and one capstone project. So for the project management, the core project management roles will be on capstone projects, while those that wants to work in agile, IT project manager, Scrum will be on IT project, which will be a real project. So that is that about what we have. Again, because of our time, I'm just rushing. So these are the prices for each of the courses. For data analysis is $7.99, masterclass is $9.99, digital marketing $2.99, Excel £99, software testing $9.99, database $7.99. But the good thing is, for the first 10 people who are enrolling on the course, we are giving a 50% discount. So if you are one of the 10 people to enroll first, you get 50% discount. Take, for example, data analysis. After 50% discount, you get it for £399. And the good thing as well is, if you have the £399 at once, you can pay. If not, you can pay twice. You can start with half payment, and the other half you can pay within 6 to 8 weeks after you've started. So for any of the trainings that I mentioned, we are currently giving 50% discount for the first 10 people that will be enrolling on the journey. So if you happen to be one of the 10, you get it. Once we reach the 10, then the discount drops down to 20%. So if you want to embark on the journey, if you want to make A when the sun still shines, I'll tell you that this is the opportunity to do so. You'll be getting more than the value of the money that you are paying for the training. Most of our trainings, you are getting more than one training in any one that you enrolled for. If you are interested, or if you have questions at the end of this session, if you want to secure your spot, the good thing as well is you can secure your spot if you want to be one of these 10 people, but you don't have up to half payment now, right? To pay, you can, make a commitment fee of, let's say, maybe £30, or 30,000 naira, depending on where you are, just to reserve your spot and be part of these 10 people. Then before the start date, you can balance up the half payment. So if you like to reserve your spot, if you like what you've been hearing so far, and you want to take advantage of the opportunity, the best number to message on WhatsApp is on your screen right now. So you can message that number on your screen to enroll to ask any question regarding enrollment or regarding anything pertaining to transitioning, or if you have any question you want to ask and you don't want to ask while we're on this call, you can message that number as well. So again, the start date for all of our courses, let me just go back there. So the start date for all the courses is on your screen right now. For masterclass starting on the 12th of October, digital marketing 2nd of November, Excel, PowerPoint 1st of November, data analysis 8th of October, product management UI UX 30th of September, database administrator 12th of October, and software testing 10th of October as well. So the number is on your screen right now. If you want to, participate on this journey, you can screenshot it, you can save it on your phone, but that'll be the number you'll be needing if you want to get on board. So any question from anyone before we draw the curtain for tonight? Larry Akombi. Yeah, as I said, what's it called? The recording will be made available on our YouTube channel. So if you are not following us, kindly go on our YouTube channel. Just search for Learn with Pride and start to follow us. As soon as we upload it, you get the notification. Or if you're on the WhatsApp group, it will be sent on the WhatsApp group as well. Rachel, yes, I just said it just now. So you just go on YouTube and search for Learn with Pride now and follow us. The recording should be made available on our YouTube channel by tomorrow. So you get the notification and then you can go back to the recording. Or if you're on any of our WhatsApp group, it will be posted on the WhatsApp group as well. The cost for Nigeria, Moses, so let me go back. So it's 900,000 naira before discount. So after discount, you can get it for 450,000 naira if you are taking advantage of the first 10 people. That's to Moses. So you can get it for 450,000 naira if you are taking advantage of the discount. All right. Any other question from anyone before? I hope you've been able to learn something today, though. So any other question from anyone before we draw the curtain? Those in UK, the price is on your screen right now as well. So any final question from anyone? All right. Thanks. Thanks for hanging out with us for the last 2.5 hours. We hope you've been able to learn something from this session and as well make up your mind or decide on which one you want to embark on. What I can tell you is there is no better time in joining the train, embarking on the journey than now. The job market is really picking up and you are leveraging, you are not only leveraging on one country, but several countries, just imagine the money you are investing into the journey might become what you'll be earning per day when you start applying, when you start, the job, so it's an investment that surely you are going to reap the reward in the future. For the duration of the data administration class, it's a 4 months, Rachel, it's for 4 months, and it runs every Friday and Saturdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. for data administrator. Yes, it's for 4 months. It's a 4-month program. And the time is 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Friday and Saturday. That's to Rachel. Data analysis runs Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., 2 days a week for 5 months. So data analysis is for 5 months. Database DA is for 4 months. But if you have any other question, please kindly message on this WhatsApp number. Any other question you want to ask after this call, the number on your screen right now, the WhatsApp number on your screen right now is the best number for you to message, and every questions will be answered. Hopefully, I'm going to see some of you on the journey, and let's rewrite the future together. Let's rewrite the narrative. Let's change the narrative as well together. And we are ready to do the work with you. The question is, are you ready for the journey? If you're ready for the journey, please kindly message us and let's take you on the journey. If you want to see the feedback, the review, the testimonies of our students as well, you can do that on Trustpilot. So if you go on Trustpilot, just go on Google, type Trustpilot together. And when you get on there, search for Learn with Pride Limited. Then you can see the reviews of our student and ex-student. If you want to hear the testimony as well, on YouTube, you see them, and on our Instagram or on our social media, you see them as well. I always believe in people doing their due diligence as well. And if you are convinced with what you read, why not? Get in touch with us and we'll be glad to take you on the journey. But till the time we'll see you, thanks for your time tonight. Have a good night. Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.